Let's begin with a breaking update where the central government has now filed a counter affidavit, we are told, in the Supreme Court justifying the ban that has been imposed on the Students' Islamic Movement of India, also called as SIMI, and extensively referring to the constitution of SIMI, which speaks of objectives like establishment of Islamic system in the country. The centre has said that such a constitution must be seen in direct conflict with democratic sovereign setup of India and should not be allowed to be perpetuated in our secular society. Straight away going across to Harish, we also have Pranesh with us. Harish, the centre has pointed out that SIMI into existence that came in and had been calling out for jihad, or even when it comes to destruction of nationalism and the establishment of Islamic rules, something that should not be allowed, as the organization does not believe in the nation state or even in the Indian constitution. Harish.
Yes, Amita, this centre has vehemently justified the ban imposed on SIMI since 2001 and the 8th consecutive ban upheld recently by the Unlawful Authorities Tribunal. The centre has very clearly said that any organization that has a plan of establishing Islamic rule in India cannot be permitted in the Indian soil. SIMI does not believe in Indian nationalism and wants to replace it with an international Islamic order. Very, very serious allegations, and centre has also said that there is strong evidence that despite the ban since 2001, SIMI through its several members have regrouped and are still indulging in activities dangerous to the integrity, sovereignty and unity of the country. And SIMI through its several contracts has connections in Pakistan, Afghanistan, Saudi Arabia, Bangladesh and Nepal, and several members, dangerous terrorists from Hizbul Mujahideen and Lashkar-e-Toba has penetrated SIMI and is spreading terrorism in the country.
Let me read out. Mr. Majid Memon is with us on the phone line. Sir, good morning. As we talk about this particular affidavit, sir, in which the government of India has clearly highlighted that
say has to be accepted by the court. The petitioners, the other side, would also counter their submissions with either a counter affidavit or by oral submissions. The matter is under examination of the Honorable Supreme Court, and what centre says may be accepted or it may not be accepted. So it is little too early for us to say what is in the best interest of the country, because integrity and sovereignty and security of the country is certainly a matter of prime concern for everybody. But at the same time, on the other hand, you see, there are laws or constitutional assurances given for propagation of a particular religion or for pursuing religion. So if it is crossing that line of breaching the security or integrity or sovereignty of the country, then probably Supreme Court will step in. Let us wait and see how the court views it.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Memon, for joining us here on the broadcast. We also have Mr. R.S.N. Singh with us on the phone line. Sir, even if we talk about such extremist organization, all right, Mr. R.P. Singh is with us on the phone line. All right, apologies, sir. R.P. Singh ji, what would you say as far as the government's affidavit in the court here is concerned? Because they have been talking about such organizations that have been also funding terror organizations like Hizbul Mujahideen and the Lashkar-e-Toiba, which has successfully managed to penetrate into SIMI cadres.
Well, I don't know who the but I'm shocked the way they are trying to safeguard SIMI. We all know what has been the background of SIMI and PFI, the way they have trying to disintegrate country, one, and secondly, the way they have been categorically stating that they will form Islamic State in the country. And India is a secular country, and then we go by the constitutional country, which was laid by Ambedkar, not by the Sharia or by any other norm of the Islam. But that's how the defenders of the all PFI and SIMI are. They try to bring religion into it. I mean, what is religion into it? No religion teaches you to go against the norms of a country.
Right, sir.
And whether it is Islam or anyone else for that.
Right,
but
sir.
The fact is that they try to make
So this is something, thank you very much, Mr. R.P. Singh ji, for joining us here on the broadcast. Pranesh, how exactly when it comes to the blueprint of jihad being outlined, especially when it comes to the government's affidavit, just take us through the key points, please.
You know, just to add to what Harish said, let me begin by saying that the ban on SIMI has been a very contentious issue in this country with many parties of the opposition. When the crackdown happened, came out and said that, look, this is not the right thing to do. But in the last ban that was upheld, in fact, the last extension of the ban on SIMI happened in 2019. And now the Supreme Court that was hearing a batch of petitions, the centre was asked to file an affidavit, and here is the centre's response. The centre is making it clear that the activities of the SIMI is subversive, anti-national, that the objective of the SIMI is to establish Islamic Jihad, which is the Islamic Caliphate. Here it is stated in 4 points in centre's affidavit that Times Now has accessed. Governing of human life on the basis of Quran, propagation of Islam, jihad, religious war for the cause of Islam, destruction of nationalism, and establishment of the Islamic rule or caliphate. Now, this is something that we've seen even in the case of PFI. When the PFI was banned, the centre said, and we had a copy then of the reasoning given by the MHA, it said that the PFI also wanted something similar. Let's go to point number 38. Here it is. It says it is respectfully submitted that SIMI through its members has contacts in Pakistan, Afghanistan, Saudi Arabia, Bangladesh, Nepal. Being an organization for students, youth, SIMI is influenced by and used by various fundamentalist Islamic terrorist organizations operating inter alia from the state of Jammu and Kashmir. Also, terrorist organizations such as the Hizbul Mujahideen and the Lashkar-e-Taiba have successfully managed to penetrate into the SIMI cadres to achieve their anti-national goals. So not only has the centre listed the anti-national goals called SIMI a threat to the nation, it has also linked it to terror organization by naming these two terror organizations. Point number 39 is also important. Allow me to read this quickly. It is further submitted that SIMI has been active in Andhra Pradesh, Bihar, Gujarat, Karnataka, Kerala, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu, Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal, and the National Capital Territory of Delhi. It is stated that SIMI is also known to have launched a countrywide campaign to mobilize the support of Muslims for creating a caliphate. As stated above, SIMI is against nationalism, works to replace it with an international Islamic order.
All right.
The centre is saying that the ban on SIMI should not be overturned, and we stick with our decision to press the ban on SIMI.
All right. Harish, coming back to you on that, because this is in a reply, the affidavit that has been filed in response rather to a special leave petition by one individual who claims to be a former member of the organization and challenging the 2019 notification extending the ban imposed by the SIMI under the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act. What was the contention here really? Harish?
Yes, in fact, they have this particular individual who was a member of the SIMI has challenged the ban and said that this tribunal has not gone into the real fact, and it also the SIMI also cited freedom of speech and expression and right to dissent, and they have denied any role in terrorist activities. While I'll read out one more paragraph from the centre's affidavit. It says that despite the ban on SIMI, its sympathizers have continued to carry on their unlawful activities under the garb of various cover organizations. They have indulged in radicalizing and brainwashing the minds of Muslim youth by jihadi propaganda, takreers. It emphasized that SIMI had been banned not only because its members were carrying out unlawful activities, but because the objects of SIMI itself were illegal and challenged the sovereignty and integrity of India. So, Amita, today the Supreme Court bench led by Justice Sanjay Kishan Kaul will be weighing SIMI's arguments that they had nothing to do with terror activities, they were in fact indulging in several welfare activities for the interests of poor and downtrodden among the Muslims, and they have distanced themselves from any terrorist activity. So today, the Supreme Court bench led by Justice Sanjay Kishan Kaul will be examining the judgment passed by the Unlawful Activities Tribunal, which had in fact upheld the center's 5-year ban on SIMI, which was imposed in 2018 November. Back to you.
Because SIMI first, that was banned in 2001, and then on a regular basis we are looking at how the ban has been extended by the center, and this time around filing an affidavit saying that when it comes to the laws that have been imposed by SIMI in their organization and constitution are contrary to the laws that have been imposed when it comes to the laws of the Indian country and the constitution as well. Thank you very much.